Hello all YouTubers, I'm the Weather Dude. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning back into our tropical discussion for June 21st, 2020. Before I get on with today's video, however, I would ask that every single one of you please smash that subscribe button and ring the bell notifications. Thank you guys so much for 600 subscribers. Let's get to our next goal of 700 subscribers and to our next long-term goal of the big 1,000. So please smash that subscribe button and ring the bell notifications, as well as watching the whole video. Both of these things really do support my channel, and watching the whole video, it's a win-win. You get the best part of the content, and I get the watch time, which I really do need for my channel. And please also like and share this video. Thank you. Now let's get on with today's video. Today we have some big news regarding the Eastern Pacific hurricane season. Just like I said in my past video, right there in the top right corner of your screen, just to remind you guys in case you forgot which one it was, I did talk about how the Eastern Pacific was going to fire up, all right? And did that happen? Yeah, I think it did, all right? There are 3 different tropical disturbances in the Eastern Pacific, and we're going to talk about them all today. All right, so let's get right into it. So we're going to start going from, let's go west to east here. Starting with this tropical disturbance sitting at about 121 degrees west and about 11 degrees north. Kind of give me a rough estimate there. All these systems have at least a 30% chance of development. This first one, as of 5 a.m. Pacific time, does have a 30% chance of development. It's a broad area. It is a low pressure system because there's an X there, which means a low pressure system has formed. All right, and it's 1,000 miles southwest of the tip of Baja. And keep in mind, there's 3 disturbances here, so all 3 of these could even send some waves towards the Baja, potentially. All right, and there are some disorganized showers and storms. Environmental conditions are going to support slow development for the system during the next few days. And since you can see that the threat for 5 days of development is higher than the chance of development for 48 hours, that means this will probably form within 3, 4, 5 days as opposed to 1 or 2. This won't be forming right away. Next system here. This is Invest, I believe it's 92E, I believe it's called. I believe, yes, 92E. Let me just check for one of the models real quick. Yes, 92E, and then we have 95L on the Atlantic side. So yes, next one is Invest 92E. I would say if it's called L, that means it's on the Atlantic side. This has a 40% chance of development. This is the higher chance of development right here. So this is a low pressure system. There's a broad area of showers and storms. It is several hundred miles though south of the southwestern coast of Mexico here, and we could have some gradual development of the storm system, all right, through the middle of the week. So this thing will be taking its time more, but this does have a 40% chance of development through the next 5 days as it moves away from the coast of Mexico. And the last system here, closest to the Mexican and Baja coast, is another area of disturbed weather, and additional development could be possible through this week, but this does have a 30% chance of development within the next 5 days, not through the next 2 days. There's really not actually a low pressure system yet. It's just the area of disturbed weather. There's no X, so we don't know where exactly the low pressure center is like the other 2, but that does also have a 30% chance of development. Looking at Invest 92E on a satellite here, you can see that we do have its area of rotation, but it's hard to see it because there's thunderstorms sitting over that area of rotation, that low center. So it's kind of hard to tell, but we do have a lot of convection, that I will say. All right, it's the Pacific Ocean. That's what's supposed to happen. All right, there's a lot of heat energy in the Pacific. All right, so that is what happens, and that's what we are seeing in this case. All right, so sitting at a 121 degrees west and about 11 degrees north, if we look at the ocean temperature anomalies to kind of point out where the first system is, I give a rough estimate right about here. So it is sitting in ocean temperatures that are slightly above average by about a degree, maybe a degree and a half above average Celsius. So maybe by about 2.5 degrees above average Fahrenheit. All right, so it is sitting in some warmer than average waters. Ocean temperatures were the first system I talked about, the westernmost system, sitting at about 28, 29 degrees Celsius, which is about mid upper 80s. So I'd say more actually mid 80s, which is still plenty enough because we know for a sustainable tropical cyclone, we really only need 80 degrees or upper 70s, but more so we need 80 degrees Fahrenheit for a sustainable tropical cyclone. The other system is located about 105 degrees west and about 10 degrees north. So we take a look at that one, 105. So I actually put it right here. So it's sitting in just about average waters. The northern side of the system is sitting on above average waters. The southern side is sitting in cooler than average waters because we have our developing La Nina, ENSO neutral developing down there. So overall the storm system is seeing, I'd say, average waters. Some a little bit warmer, some a little bit cooler, but the center of the system is right on average. But either way, the ocean temperatures are still 29, 30 degrees where the Invest 92E is. So Invest 92E, I definitely think is staying in some warmer waters. And finally, the last system here is going to be developing over by the Mexican coastline. Again, there is no low center for this one yet, but you can still tell where it will develop. Do we have some above average ocean water? I'd say. All right, even 2 degrees Celsius, even 4 degrees Fahrenheit above average. So definitely some warmer than average waters. 30 degrees Celsius ocean temperatures, which is definitely into the upper 80s by this point. All right, so let's talk about Invest 92E here for a bit. And Invest, I think this is the one we're going to be focusing on. We'll be talking about the other systems, but I think since this has the higher development chance as of now, we'll be focusing on this one. Obviously, we'll have the chance to track the other ones as well. But starting with Invest 92E here, you can see that the models do take it northwestward. Some bend it towards California. Another one bends out to sea. Not many models. It's kind of just developed, so I don't think models are picking up on this too much yet. But a couple of models do indicate that it could strengthen a little bit to 990 or even 985 millibars of pressure. Actually, if it headed towards California, that would be some good news. At least get some moisture there. But even if it does, look at this. It's sitting well off the coast of California 10 days out. So I'm not calling this the slowest moving system. It's not the fastest moving either. All right, but we still could have a tropical disturbance, whether it's fast or slow, because it's not going to be affecting much land. That's kind of the good thing with these Eastern Pacific storms. Some of them, like the ones that do develop near the Mexican coastline, some of them do head out to sea, and when they do, there's not much land that they impact, except for Hawaii, maybe eventually. But some of them can turn northward, and that's when they affect land. The moisture can get funneled into the Baja, into the southwest United States, and that's where these Pacific storms can become pretty scary here. So let's look at some more GEFS tracks. Obviously, that was the GEPS tracks. So a different GFS ensemble here. And again, most of them do take it westward and even northwestward eventually as we head over the next 5 or 7 days. Invest 95E, here we go. Here's the GFS model here. And again, like I just said, there's a low pressure center, but again, there's precipitation sitting right over the center, and we can't have that when you're developing a tropical cyclone. The precipitation has to be developing around the storm center, not right on it, and that's why it's a little disorganized as of now, but still some very heavy rainfall as it moves to the west. 1,008 millibars of pressure, not going to be developing much. We'll be taking a look at the wind speeds as well. Then, it's not until 6 days out this could start finally developing, but it's probably way out in the Pacific by this point. Obviously, the satellite, it's supposed to be blurry like this because it's a satellite forecast. It's not observational. But I'll be showing you other satellite imagery as well. But you can see it doesn't look all that organized. I mean, this is 61 hours out. I definitely do think we do have maybe the low center could be here. Maybe our area's strongest convection's here. So that's pretty organized. Maybe a tropical storm. I'd say it looks healthy for tropical storm, considering the conditions that the storm is in right now. And then it kind of fades away. By hour 1:15, by Friday morning, there's really nothing on the satellite imagery. So that's pretty weird. Let's look at the cyclonic vortices of all the systems here for the GFS model here. All right, starting with the first one, I believe this is our westernmost system over here. Here is 92E, and here's our other system starting to get its act together, but not quite yet. All right, and watching all these storms here, I mean, here we go. The westernmost system actually develops pretty cool, well actually. Here's Invest 92E looking pretty circular, looking pretty good on the cyclonic vorticity signature. Here's your more broad area, your other area to watch by the Mexican coastline and by Central America. Then even another system could develop beyond that right here. Here's 92E. That other system's over in the Central Pacific by that point. So that is what your cyclonic vorticity signatures look like for these three storm systems. Wind shear anomalies, that's kind of the bad news. Wind shear anomalies are pretty much for the Mexican coastline here, for Invest 92E, and for that other westernmost system. Where all these systems are, we have above average wind shear from pretty much the entire East Pacific, with the exception for just west of the Baja there. We do have a little bit of below average shear, but other than that, the wind shear is actually above average. So that's a little con in developing all these systems. If it wasn't for this above average shear, I think that all these systems would increase their development chances by at least 20%. Like the westernmost system could have a 50% chance. 90E could even have a 60% chance, and another potentially 50% chance for the other storm system as well. But because of that shear anomaly, that's why development chances for all three of these are a little bit low. But the fact that we had 3 tropical disturbances at once in the Pacific, kind of early in the season, we're only a month into the hurricane, exactly 1 month, Because remember, May 15th is the start of the hurricane season for the Eastern Pacific. Atlantic, it's obviously June 1st. I actually like to see hurricane season start May 15th for the Atlantic as well. That would pretty much make it fair. But for the GEM model, let's take a look at the kind of like the observed precipitation, kind of like the simulated radar for the GEM model. All right, so let's take a look at the simulated radar. Again, I'll point out what each system is for you guys. And GEM model. So here's the third system. Here is Invest 92E, and here is our westernmost system. So you can see it's doing something with all three of these, and it's forming along this tropical conveyor belt that's moving through along the equator from northern Central America. Actually, it's kind of backwards on the camera. I should go the other way. From northern Central America all the way along the equator through the Eastern Pacific, and that's what this tropical conveyor belt. We can have areas of spin that come off of these. All right, so again, here's your westernmost system. Invest 92E is actually gone. And there's our easternmost system right there, hovering near the Mexican coastline. And that is the GEM model. Looking at the satellite, all right, again, it's going to be a little bit blurry because obviously it's a forecast satellite and it's kind of hard to do that. But look at this. Look at our 90. Look at the other system, how well developed it looks. Here's our other system, Invest 92E. The GEM model isn't very confident in that one at all. All right. Then eventually, if we can develop a subtropical jet, that moisture could get funneled back into the south central and the southwest. That could enhance severe weather threat. That could advance our flood threat. It can enhance a lot of different kinds of weather here. Looking at our, let's look at the cyclonic vorticity signature. And here's all three systems. The westernmost one, 92E, and here is our easternmost system. So you can see that I think the easternmost system would have the best chance of impacting the Atlantic, because the other two I think are just going to head out to sea. All right, so here's our easternmost system right here. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this one right here, indicated by National Hurricane Center. And as we head through time, that will be developing, potentially moving near the Baja. Probably won't be impacting it. Probably move out to sea from there, but that one probably has the best chance to impact the parts of the Mexican coastline. Again, we are above average for our wind shear, sadly. All right, let's take a look at the surface winds for all these systems here, and taking a look at Invest 92E. All right, again, doesn't look like much. All right, all three of these could, I think, all three of them could develop into weak tropical storms. I think that's from my perspective. I think that's what could happen. Because of the higher wind shear, these won't have the chance to develop to their full potential. But what the GFS model says something very different. All right, they really do develop the westernmost system a lot, actually, to even a potential weak hurricane. Here's 92E. They make that into a tropical storm. The other system, the easternmost one, GFS kind of leaves out. So the GEM model leaves out Invest 92E. They don't like that one. The GFS doesn't have much confidence in the easternmost system either, although it will eventually make it a strong or a medium to strong tropical storm, potentially making landfall on the western Mexican coastline, kind of like near where Hurricane Patricia made landfall. At one point, Hurricane Patricia had 215 mile per hour winds, so pretty interesting. All right, so let's take a look at windy.com real quick here to finish this off. And again, here's your third easternmost tropical disturbance. Here is, I believe, 92E is setting right around here. Here's your westernmost disturbance developing right about here. All right, so all three of these look pretty good on satellite imagery. And these are all three tropical disturbances. We're going to continue the track here. This isn't the last video about these tropical disturbances, unless they all die suddenly. All right, but something to watch, and potentially a kind of like a peek in the snow globe for what we could be seeing for the Eastern Pacific hurricane season, and what we could be seeing for the Atlantic season. Maybe possible active Atlantic season too. So hopefully I'll be doing another update on Invest 95L, but that will be starting to taper off shortly. If you do want to see that video, that is on the top right corner of your screen. Thank you guys for watching. I'm the Weather Dude signing off. Till next time. Catch you guys next video.